Hi guys, this is Becky from patchworkposse.com, and today I thought I would show you how to sew your hexagons to your background fabric. So there's other videos showing you how to English paper piece, and I chose the shape of a hexagon, and then there's another video on how to get your hexagon together. So in this video, I thought I would show you after you have your large piece of hexagon sewn together, what do you do with them? How do you get them to your background? So that is what we're going to tackle today. I have a small background piece. It's tiny, but my pieces are tiny, and just for this demonstration, that's what's going to happen. So I've got my hexagon sewn together. And what I'm going to do is pin them in place. Now I do suggest that you cut your background not much, but a little bit larger than what your hexagon section is, because they will shift, they will move a little bit, and you don't want to have it exact and then not have enough when on one edge because it's moved a little bit. So what we're going to do is kind of place it where we want it, and then we're going to pin it down. This is like a super large pin and probably wouldn't use that. So if you have a larger piece like this section, then I would suggest using multiple pins. But for this, that's what I've gotten, so we'll just go with it. So you want to take your thread and your needle, and I don't have a knot in here. I'm just going to take a couple stitches. If you want a knot at the end of your thread, there is a video for a quilter's knot, which is quick and fast and super easy and simple. Okay, so I'm just going to take a couple stitches to secure this, and then start going. Okay, so I've got a couple stitches started, well, in the corner to secure. And then what you're going to do is take a little stitch on the bottom fabric, your background, and then just like as you were putting your hexagons together, I'm going to come up really close. There we go. You're going to just nick that edge of the hexagon. Do not go through the paper, only go through the fabric. And then you're going to push your needle through and pull it up. You're going to continue this. So you're going to go down into the background, take a little stitch, and then come up and nick the edge of the hexagon. You're going to take, you can decide on this stitch spacing, what's best for your project. I kind of do smaller ones, and you really want it secured on the other end because you do take, you do pull that thread a little bit tight. Not enough to pucker it so much, but you do need it tight. And you know, it's very similar to needle turn applique. Alright, so what you're going to do is just keep going along the edge. And when you hit the other corner, you just keep going like as before. So it really is like needle turn. You're just catching the background right underneath the piece, or right along the edge of the piece, and then catching one little edge of the shape that you're working with. Now every couple stitches you're going to want to make an extra stitch sort of in the same area, same place, and that's to secure it, because sometimes your stitches pull and you don't want the whole thing unraveling, so you know, if right now I've got my stay stitch right here. If I take a couple stitches and something breaks in there, it'll only make a hole in that general area. It won't unravel the whole thing. What you want to do is make sure that when you go down with your needle, you're going down kind of directly under where your needle came up, and you're traveling, or your needle is traveling on the back side. I don't know if you can see that tiny little needle. Your needle is traveling the distance on the back side, not on the front. You don't want to have loose threads or show your thread. Your thread is only there to tack. It's not to be seen. So make sure you're going down in the same area that your needle came up in, and then you're traveling on the back side of the fabric and then coming back up, catching the hexagon. Now, as you can see, I'm just following this line. I'm going to go around in the whole circle. At some point, I'm going to have to take this paper out because you don't want the paper in your finished project. So when you get it a little more secure, you can kind of take it out and pick at it with your needle underneath and pull it out. You probably want to have at least like one edge open to do that. It's a little fussy, and that's why, you know, you don't want to be stitching and catching your paper, because when you're pulling it out, it can cause you lots of grief. It can cause a lot of grief. It's not fun. Alright, so you just continue on all the way around, and that is how you attach your English paper piecing to a background square.